How long is your hair now? Jeez.
Still growing it.
It's crazy. I wish I still had my hair.
Yeah. I don't remember the last time you had hair.
It's high school.
Same.
High school was
You
too
guys got beer?
stressful and I lost all my hair.
That was a bad
You sure that
news.
was school? And...
Alright. Justin, you recording now? Justin?
Yes?
Are you recording now?
Yeah, I said I was.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear.
Alright, I'll start it then. Alright.
Daniel, you recording?
Yeah, I'm recording.
Okay, cool. Alright. That's going. This is going. My Audacity is going. And hello everyone, welcome to the Charge Shot Gamescast. Each and every week, friends gather around, talk about the shit going on in the lives and the games they've been playing. This week, I'm joined with Justin.
Hi. That's me.
And Ben isn't here tonight, but we got his #1 fan and my friend, Daniel.
Hey, how's it going?
I just wanted to say, like, I've known Daniel for, it feels like almost 20 years now, and he started listening to the show.
Yeah,
And-
like as soon as you linked it to me, I started watching.
yeah, so
I thought you meant like yesterday. Like we've been friends for 20 years and he just started listening to the show, so just calling you out.
Hey, I have a habit of people like sending me stuff and be like, yeah, I'll check it out later, and just never doing it. So.
yeah. So this week, we have a guest. Maybe we'll start with our guest this week and then go to Justin. Sound good?
You guys can start it if you want. It's not. It's like,
Just talk about you guys.
yeah.
Yeah, so Daniel, what have you been playing?
The last couple of days, one of my friends that gifted me Monster Hunter, and so we've been pretty much playing that for the past 2-3 days on Steam.
World, I assume?
Yeah, Monster Hunter World, the one that just came out on PC. So it's I'm not a notorious fan for the Monster Hunter series, so like it's okay when you're playing with friends, but it's not a game I'd have picked up myself. It's not that it's bad; it's just not my genre of game, because I prefer those turn-based tactics games, card games, and strategy games, stuff like that.
Me too.
Aside from that, I've talking about strategy games. I've been playing the entire series of Utawari Mono. It's a Japanese visual novel turn-based RPG game. It's very linear. It's pretty much story-driven. It has 2 anime series that covering the first game and the second game, so people can watch them. They don't actually have to play the games. They only have to play the game, so they want the third game. It's actually one of my favorite games. I've been playing it like religiously every day. So like I started knocking them out. I replayed the first game, just finished the second game, and I'm working on the third game right now. And the second and third game have to deal with one main character, and the first game has to deal with the whole setting. And it's mostly about both games revolve around a main character who's an amnesiac who wakes up in a world filled with like half human, half animal people, and they have no memory about their past. The first game kind of explains why there's animal people, but I can't really. I don't know if I should talk about that because it's major spoiler. It's like one of the key parts of the end of the game. But it's an interesting game, and if people are interested in like traditional RPG games with linear story, it's definitely something you should look into to playing or watching. It's called Utawari Mono.
I assume it's still English though, right?
Yeah, the first game is not, unfortunately. The first game just was like originally made like 2007, I think, or 2006. and it was fan translated into English. But it doesn't seem to run very well on like Windows 10 at all. It's like made for Windows XP. So you're kind of, if you can't get it to work, you're kind of crap out of luck, and there's no actual North American release of it. And just recently, the first game got a remake for the Vita, but it's Japanese localization only for now. We don't know if we're going to see it in North America.
Plus, it's on the Vita, so it's dead anyway.
The second and third game were out on yeah. Well, it wasn't. It's not just on the Vita. It was also for like PS4 and Vita. The second and third game though are translated into English though, and they are on the PS4 and the Vita, and they're good games actually. The storyline is pretty nice. The main character is kind of is like a super smart but lazy character who kind of keeps getting thrown into really crappy situations, and yeah, that's pretty much the source of it. Like one person, like his best friend, seems to like drinking with him every night and throwing him into really complicated situations for no other reason than for his own amusement. It's like the entire story, and it gets progressively worse for the main character.
Is it is it like a Fire Emblem type of strategy kind of thing, or Final Fantasy Tactics, or
more like it's more like Final Fantasy Tactics, because it's not like, it doesn't deal with like Trinity systems. Oh no, it does. It deals with like a Trinity system of elements. Every character has an element, and there's elemental weaknesses, so certain characters do better against certain enemies and worse against others. So he does have Fire Emblem stuff. There's no job change system, so each character has like their own set of abilities that they can get to. You can equip them to enhance them or whatever. The game has a very weird skill, like attack system, where it's like when you make a character attack somebody, there's a combo system where there's a rectangle, and there's two rectangles. There's a circle that shrinks onto a smaller circle, and you gotta press your confirm key when it tries to land on to do a critical hit. When you land it, you do the next hit and then the next hit, and each hit has different properties. They'll either build meter or consume meter, so you have to know when to actually continue the combo or cancel the combo if you want to get to your special attack, or if you want to deal damage in the immediate time.
It's kind of like Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah, and the other meter is like a circle that charges up, and it just goes around in a circle, and you gotta hold the button for the duration and let go at the end. And it mixes between them depending on the character's movement, jump. It keeps track of things like move.
Did he die?
I think he died.
Oh.
Damn it. Daniel!
It's very possibly still talking.
Yeah, I know. Alright, well then. Crap. Let's see, has he sent me a message? Nope. What happened?
If his computer crashed, then it would probably take a little while to get back up and say anything.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, alright. I guess just I don't know, what do you want to do? You want to go, or you want to wait, or?
I mean, I can jump in and then he can take over later. That's fine.
All right.
There's less waiting time when you're editing.
Okay, that was a bit awkward. Hi. Sorry, I kind of like cut out there because my net seemed to have dropped. What was the last thing you guys heard?
Something about like walking or
movement.
Yeah, movement. Yeah.
Yeah, so the game tracks like movement for jump height, so it tracks how high you can jump or how low you can jump down, jump up, and it tracks that because certain characters can't jump certain heights. Some characters can, some characters can't. You can equip things to vary that. Some characters care about meter. Some want to stay in the meter zone. Some want to just consume it right away to use their ultimate attack. And then the next game, the third game, changes that meter usage by certain characters have team abilities where they will help each other do damage if they're close or when they have meter. And some of them have paired ultimates, so like the main character and the two mage sisters will actually all use an ultimate together. For an example, it's hard to explain about that one. Which do they get, like the specials get different properties and stuff based on that. But story-wise, the story of the game is fairly good. It goes from like just you learning about the characters to bad situations. It goes through lighthearted stuff where it tries to cheer up the mood for a bit, to give you a break from all the tragedy that's going on. And it goes back into tragedy, and it kind of shifts between like their daily lives and them trying to cope with what's going on with in a world that's progressively going further and further into like war. So
it's set in like something like a medieval fantasy kind of thing.
It's like it's kind of set in it's set in a feudal Japan type style because it takes place in Japan, but the actual time the game is actually supposed to take place in our world, but like post apocalypse.
Oh, okay.
Kind of. So like humans have died out.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. This sounds pretty cool. Yeah. Maybe I'll take a look at it and see what it's like. Because I like the Fire Emblem games, and I've been looking to get another one of those. Or
well,
like
I do have
like a tactics type game.
Well, do you have a Vita? Because I do have the hard copies of it, so I could just lend you them the next time I see you.
You're too generous.
Like I've been trying to get people to play that game for a while. It's like something I'm completely absorbed into.
Yeah, maybe when I take you to that steakhouse, you can bring those games along, and I'll.
Yeah, I'll have to grab the second one off my cousin, who's not playing it at all.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah, and aside from that, just Magic the Gathering Arena. Lots of Magic the Gathering Arena. Just beta testing the hell out of that game, and enjoying it.
Justin, before the show, he was showing me like all of his Magic cards, like just laying all over the place, like on his bed, like everywhere, man.
Just all over there.
That's a lot of Magic.
That's not even all of it. That's like.
Yeah, there's more down.
More.
Like there's more down there.
It's everywhere.
Like there it is.
His room is Magic cards.
Yeah, there's like Magic on top of my dresser. There's Magic underneath my bed. It's just everywhere. All because I go to like Magic every Saturday, normally.
I keep my Magic in my bed too, if you know what I mean.
There you
Giggity.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I've been playing, honestly.
Cool.
All of it.
Justin, have you finished X7? X8?
I did.
Where are we now?
I finished X7, begrudgingly. That game is like the final boss of that is just bad. Like the final form of Sigma is based. I think I might have mentioned it last week, but it's basically like you're up in space for some reason, like above the world, on these platforms. It's an entirely 3D battle, which is stupid for the final battle. And you like jump between these platforms that kind of go around Sigma, but he's like this big, like planet-sized thing, and Zero is basically useless in this entire fight because he's like, well, I mean, you know, it's space, so it's hard to tell distance, but he's a good, like, you know, distance away from the platforms at any given time. And even with Axel, because I don't use X sucks. Even with Axel, like you have to get to the edge of these platforms in order for your shot to reach Sigma, like from where he's standing. But then it's basically just spamming shots, like the rapid shot, when he's like within range, and then he'll like kind of go out of range for a little bit, like drop things on you, just like stupid little attacks. And then you go back to spam shotting him. a little bit more. Like it feels like a Borderlands boss almost. We get like that
Right.
bullet spongy type thing.
Oh.
And what's annoying is you'll get him down to a little under halfway, and he just like he'll do this just sudden like teleport in and like flings a what?
What?
I was playing from Alexa. Did you start it?
No, that's not me.
It's not me.
Are the neighbors hijacking our speaker again?
I literally run into this problem every day at work.
I was wondering why I heard music, but she usually just has stuff playing really loudly, so I just didn't think anything of it. But anyway, what was I saying?
Hold down the
Oh,
power
yeah.
button and it'll disconnect the phone or whatever.
Yeah, they've hijacked our TV soundbar before.
Yeah.
Good old duplex.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so yeah, he'll do this sudden like teleport in and just like punch you really quickly. So like you can't. I don't know if you can even dodge it, but it's like an instant kill. It's like you get him. It's this bullet spongy thing down to like 3/4 health, and then just boom, punch and dead, and you start over.
I hate bosses
And
that
it's
instant
the
kill.
worst thing. Yeah, I hated it. So I finally beat that game, and like the end it's actually a pretty okay like anime cutscene at the end, and then it's just over. Like I get that's how all of those games are, but the others are like satisfying to play. So I wanted a little bit more out of the ending of this one. But after you beat this big planet-sized Sigma, the cutscene starts and you're back on Earth, and he's normal-sized, and it's like, wait, what? Like this has nothing to do with the fight I just had.
It was all a
It
dream.
was just all in your head.
Yeah,
It's a real-
exactly.
Yeah. So I started up X8. I've kind of taken a bit of a break from my Mega Man X marathon after over the weekend, but I'll get into X8 real quick. I started that one up, and like I was reminded how much better it is from X7, but there's still some like noticeable flaws just in the level design of it, because the levels are kind of long, and in past games like they had kind of made it to, especially the PS1 era, where there's a lot more checkpoints in the levels. So like the level design might be kind of frustrating, but when you die, you just go back to the last checkpoint instead of having to restart the entire level at every game over. In X8, it's back to restarting the entire level after a game over. Basically, you have like some retry chips, and you can put like the upgrade like coin currency stuff into buying more of these retry chips. So you start a level with like 5 instead of 2 or whatever. And it's not like expendable. It's like you pay for 5 of them, and then every time you get a game over, you start with 5. So like you have a good amount of tries for each level, but they're really long levels. And so like it can get really annoying when you have a stupid reason for dying, or like you get to the final boss and have like 1 or 2 retries left, and then you die on that, get a game over, and start the entire level over again. It's not a problem in the early games because they're pretty quick levels. But here, it's kind of a slog to get through some of them. Like upwards of probably 10 or 15 minutes, like from beginning to end of level, which is pretty substantial for a Mega Man X level if you're dying a lot. And so they're not terribly well laid out or fun. But it's still a noticeably better game than X7 was. It's just hard. Like, Zero, I swear, could be killed in 3 hits from any enemy. His life just goes down like crazy. And every time you get hit, it takes down a certain amount of health, but then part of it's red. So if you switch characters, because you go into each level with 2 characters of X, Zero, and Axel, you can kind of like that red section can recharge over time. So you can just kind of keep switching back and forth between the characters to keep them somewhat high in health, which you don't get a lot of health in the levels from enemy drops and stuff. And they get hit really hard, and there's certain areas where you need a specific character with like a specific upgrade and it's like the secrets in the levels are very specific in a way that like I just don't really care to get the stuff. So I actually went back to the title screen and put in the codes for like the good armor, because the only one you can actually like get the upgrades for in the first run is X, and I don't use X because he sucks. So the others you have to get like 100% run, do New Game Plus, and then you can get their parts throughout the game. I'm not going to play this game twice. It's not bad, but I'm not going to play it twice. So I just put in the start menu the codes to get like the black Zero armor and like the white Axel armor, which is kind of weird. And it helps a little bit, but it doesn't take down how much damage they take. So there's a few enemies like one-hit kills. It's brutal. But it's fun. Like, I like it. It's probably the hardest of all 8. But it feels very much like a 2.5D version of like the original 3 X-Men games. Or sorry, Mega Man X games. Because it's a lot more of just kind of the simple, like, just platforming levels. There's not a lot of the gimmicks or anything, but I've just had a hard time getting through the levels. I think I've beaten 2 so far, and then I took a break for a while. But I've put a good few hours into the game and only beaten 2 Robot Masters.
Oof.
Usually I beat them in that time. X7 took forever just because you move so slowly, but this one just is long. But I'm enjoying it. Zero still kind of sucks though. Like his attacks just feel slow, and like I said, he takes a lot of damage when he gets hit. So I'm using Axel mostly. But aside from that, I've kind of been taking a break from Mega Man X because I moved my Switch out to the living room when I had a friend over this weekend. Because he was wanting to play some Octopath Traveler on his Switch out there. We played some Mario Kart together for a bit, and then I wanted him to see Celeste, because I do have the Celeste review up now for anyone that was waiting for that last week. The video and the text review are both up in the same post on our site. Also, you can go to the the YouTube page to check out that review. But I wanted my friend to play it because he'd seen the game, but he hadn't played it yet, and so I was kind of curious if his opinions would stand up to mine. So I basically had him go through the section where like the story really kicks in, because he wanted to quit early. I'm like, no, go a little bit further. You get another ability, like to the thing where you can like go through the portals or whatever.
Yeah.
The interdimensional rifts, I guess they're called. And I wanted him to get through that part and see the weird story stuff that I don't want to spoil. And he ended after that section. I'm like, yeah, see, now you want to buy this game, don't you? He's like, yeah, next time I have money, I'm gonna get this, I think. So nice. I was proud of hooking someone. Like, review copy well spent for them. I paid for the copy they gave me for free.
Yeah.
But yeah, aside from that, like, we both kind of realized, I think Wednesday night, that like we hadn't really played anything this week. Like during the week, I mean. So I wanted to remedy that last night, but I'm in full on Spider-Man mode, if you can't tell.
Yeah.
And that game is still like two weeks away, I think. Just 2 weeks away.
Something like that, yeah.
From today? Yeah, 2 weeks away.
That game looks so good.
I know, I can't wait. But like nothing else is really hooking me because I'm just like waiting for Spider-Man. And like every day they've been putting out new trailers and just like a little kind of bleed of information. And so I'm trying to get into other stuff and I can't, but I decided that my next thing after playing through all the Mega Man X games is that I'm going to play Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask back to back, like one after the other, and decide once and for all which one I like more. Because I've always said that Majora's Mask is my favorite Zelda game, but I feel like I don't give Ocarina of Time a fair shake. So I tried to get both of them on 3DS. Like, I own them on my my actual 3DS. But in case I want to be able to record them or whatever, like to do maybe a comparison video when I'm done. I don't know yet if I will care, but I figure I might as well, play them in a recordable fashion. I wanted to get them on the 3DS emulator. Majora's Mask I already had and have tried to play through, but it runs a little slowly sometimes. Even though it should be, like, it's perfectly compatible with the emulator and stuff, it's just that emulation is still pretty rough, performance-wise. So I got Ocarina of Time also just to see if that was any better, and it even had like some weird like graphical glitches and stuff in it. So I got both of them on 64, like the 64 emulator that I use, and so I started playing Ocarina of Time. Like I said, the 3DS versions are both better, but it's probably more fair to play them in their original versions, to get the full, idea of how they were originally intended. So yeah, I played like an hour and a half or so of Ocarina of Time last night, just kind of getting through the first Deku Tree dungeon and then up into the mountains. And so far, I'm just kind of bored. Like, that game just feels so linear.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, but it's just like, I know exactly what to do. And that's not the game's fault. Like, I can't honestly judge them fairly because I've played them both so many times over the years that they're second nature to me. But I still enjoy going into Majora's Mask, which again, maybe I won't when I play it again. But I still enjoy going to Majora's Mask because you can do things in all different orders, and like the 3-day cycle kind of naturally mixes up your gameplay. Whereas Ocarina of Time, it feels like you always just kind of have to keep going forward. Like, there's only 1 or 2 things you can do at any given time. So you play it exactly the same way every single time. But it's fun. Like, the game doesn't really open up until you become an adult anyway. So we'll see how it sticks with me. But also, then you've got the Water Temple, the Shadow Temple. Well, like a lot of bad sections.
Yeah, that's. I'd say the Shadow Temple's worse than the Water Temple.
I don't know. I actually cleared the Shadow Temple pretty quick. The Water Temple just.
The Shadow Temple's quick. That's the thing. Like, it's not good, but it's quick.
Yeah. But the Water Temple,
ever.
All that sinking and rising and re-equipping and de-equipping is just, oh my god.
Yeah, because I do at the very least when I'm playing through these, I want to get some footage because one of my plans for the last few years, I think I've actually still got it written on my whiteboard, is to do for Zelda Month one year my top 10 favorite and least favorite or worst, I guess, Zelda dungeons. Because I've done items, like my top items, so I want to do dungeons. And so I need to get some footage from both of those games anyway, because they're both on the list. But I won't tell you which list or which dungeons, but you can probably guess. But yeah, so I figure I'll just record whatever I want from the games, kind of just like footage here and there, and then whatever I want to do with it, I'll have it. But it's a good reason to play them again. So yeah, I'll report back on that when I've gotten a little further. But I wanted to play something this week.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
All right, I guess I'll just leave me. This week has been incredibly busy for me for some reason. So I haven't played too much throughout the week itself, other than just Picross on the bus. And you all know what Picross is. It's just a puzzle game. You have to fill in the blocks correctly, and then you get your thing. The sequel has these clips that you unlock as you go throughout. And in the clip section, you just solve individual puzzles that put together one big puzzle. So I'm gonna do that probably after I'm done the original Picross. Also, I played like most of this week was like watching wrestling because we had that whole SummerSlam and NXT Takeover special that we did yesterday from today. So mostly wrestling. Another puzzle game that I've been playing on my phone. It's free. It's called Hidden My Game by Mom, and all you're trying to do is trying to find your game. Yeah, it's free. You can blow through it really easily if you're on the bus or you're waiting somewhere. You can just blow right through.
There's a series of those, I think, like different hidden things.
Yeah, it's there's a couple of them that from the same people. There's another one that's like My Brother Ate My Pudding or something like that. Yeah, they're fun, like quirky games. The music is pretty good. It's just one song, but it's a really good song. Real quick, I just want to talk about Yakuza 0. There's a side quest that I ran into where you have to help this BDSM woman try and like learn how to become a master and like have confidence within herself to like treat her clientele as slaves. And hey, that's what you're into. I'm not kink shaming. And so you try to give her the confidence, and then like you're going to her room because she's gonna give you a gift for like doing such a good job with her. And then someone comes into the room, so you hide, and then like she goes through the advice that you give her, and if it works out well, like it keeps like it actually plays out well. But if you give her the wrong advice, I guess it doesn't play out well, and she just makes a fool of herself. But yeah, like that game is so much fun and quirky. Like it's a great game.
That actually sounds like a pretty fun, unique quest line.
Yeah. Another thing I've been playing is Arizona Sunshine. I just want to bitch about this game real quick because I've been This game is awful. Like, if you have a PSVR, Arizona Sunshine.
Oh, okay.
It's for it's for PlayStation VR. I think it's on PC as well. But yeah, the voice acting in it sucks. Like, it's just like this dude who's just an asshole, and I don't ever want to hear him talk again. There was a bug I had where I was in the caverns, and it's kind of cool. Like, the one thing I liked about, or the one thing that stood out to me about PSVR is exploring caves and exploring places that you don't normally go. And I kind of figured that out with Skyrim, because there's lots of caves and dungeons and stuff that you go through. And I'm like, oh, that's really neat. Like, you're seeing it in a different light. So I was in this cave section in Arizona Sunshine, and every time I died while I had a weapon equipped, that weapon would just disappear. So I had this really overpowered, like, pistol that I had, and I was like maxed out ammo. And then when I died, I lost it, and I had to like just survive off of like the little ammo that I had for my other guns. And it was such a piss off. I'm surprised I actually played through it and beat it. Like, I almost gave up on this game. It was so bad. And then every time you die, he says the same shit over and over again. So I just wanted to put it on mute. And anyways, I beat it. I don't ever have to think about that game again.
Except in your nightmares.
Yeah, exactly. And then the game from last week that I was talking about that I couldn't talk about is called Hypergun. You're finally
Oh yeah.
They finally lift the embargo on that. And I really like the game's aesthetic. It's got a really cool thing going on. There's an opening hub that you go into, and there's like all these different things that you can unlock, and there's like galleries, like a hub area that you can walk into and look at all the cool stuff. There's really cool humor in it. Like, there's like one of the first logs that you see is just entry logs, and it's this dude delivering pizza over and over again. And then it's like the last one is like, we just hired him full time as caterer, and like it's pretty funny. It's like it's like about development, humor. But when you get into the actual game, it's a roguelite, and so
that's why I didn't want it.
Yeah, I didn't realize that at first. I guess I didn't see the tag that said roguelite.
Because it looks like a Metroid game until it becomes a roguelite.
Yeah. So I haven't beaten the first level yet. I'm almost there. I got to the boss. I fought him a few times. And so, yeah. What you do, the way you progress in this game is that you go through and you clear out rooms and you try to make it to the boss and defeat the boss. And the first level of it is called the lab, and it just has this like neon like it looks like every room is disinfected, like it's all clean and shiny, and it looks really cool. And it has one song, and it loops over and over again, kind of like Hitting My Game by Mom, but Hitting My Game by Mom is like a really quick experience. You're in and out real quick. This one you kind of play for a while, so it kind of just grades on. It's a good song, but it's grating just by time. Another thing I don't like about it is that a lot of the rooms just look the same. Like, there's not a lot of variation in the rooms. There's levels that you go through later. Like, I saw some jungles and stuff, and that looks really cool. Like, the whole premise of this is that you just walk into a simulation and you play in the simulation. I think there's probably some kind of evil corporate story overlord thing going on, but really, who cares? It's for the gameplay itself and not really story. I started digging it, but yeah, the lack of variety is not great. And you get these coins, I think they're called hyper coins, and you get maybe 1 or 2 of those every level, and then it takes like 20 or so to unlock a new class. Actually, yeah, I think it's 20 to unlock a new class. And so it's going to be a big grind for you if you're playing this to get any kind of variety in this game. Like, there was an attachment that I bought for 7 coins in the shop, and I don't even know if that doesn't carry over into the game. Like, I was trying to see like if that if that would unlock something in the game, and some people were like, oh, it's like a chance to drop, and some people were like, no, it's just for you to look at. I'm like, oh, that's stupid. Why would I waste my fucking coins on this shit? But yeah, I'm gonna play it a little bit more to see if I get my final thoughts on it. I'll put up a video. I'll record something this weekend. I do want to get past the first boss to see what the other levels look like, But yeah, it's a competent shooter. I just wish there was more variety. That's pretty much it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would interest me. It's not a roguelite. I've said that about so many Metroid type games.
Right.
It makes me mad.
Yeah, so that's it for me this week.
I actually had one more I forgot about. When you were talking about being frustrated at something, it reminded me. So when my friend was here over the weekend, we wanted to like go out and do stuff like for free, ideally.
Mm-hmm.
And because I promised him, I was like, if you make the trip down here, like if you spend the gas to get down here, you won't have to pay for anything else. So like, you know, I cooked for him and we did free stuff out and everything, just to keep it cheap. And so we went out to the one of the nice parks here. For those who don't know, Missouri is like known for its caves. There's like thousands of cave systems here. And so we went to the Rockbridge State Park, where they were having like guided cave tours. And for one, we got lost trying to get there to the. We've been to this cave like dozens of times, but they blocked off the staircase we usually take. It's like, oh, we'll just take this dirt path around it and, you know, connect back up. We went 2 hours around the park back to the parking lot and had to take the stairs up a different way instead. Felt really stupid. Anyway, this was like a nature area, so like the Wi-Fi service was pretty spotty, so it was kind of difficult to use like our GPS and stuff anyway, which is why we're having such a hard time finding our way. And also, we were trying to get some Pokemon Go in while we were out there. Because it was, you know, good for walking, like getting eggs to hatch and stuff. And occasionally there would be things to catch. My brother's kind of like just recently gotten back into the game, so he hadn't caught much of anything. He got excited about simple things like Zigzagoons. And sorry, I just got a bunch of cat hair in my mouth suddenly. And so on our way up the stairs to the cave entrance, we ran into a few gyms that had like one thing in them that were almost dead. So we took those out and each put a Pokemon into each of these gyms. There was like 2 of them there, I think. And like the service was so spotty, we were like, oh man, we're going to be able to, like, this is going to be no problem to keep. This was last Saturday. Currently, on Friday, both of those Pokemon are still in those gyms, almost dead, but no one's touched them. Those gyms have been defended for 6 days, 5 hours, and 5 minutes. And any rewards you get for holding a gym caps out at 50 coins, which is not very much, by the way. And you can only get 50 coins a day for holding for like the total amount of gyms you've held. You also can't use any Pokemon that are left at gyms until they die and come back to you. So both of these Pokemon are basically just sitting at those gyms. I can't call them back. I can't put them anywhere else, and they're my strongest 2. And I can't get anything else from them because they've reached their coin max for those gyms. It's broken.
Wow.
And like I said, the Wi-Fi in that area sucks, so no one's taking them out. Because they probably don't want to put their Pokemon there for 3 weeks. So it's just this really awkward system where I can't use my top 2 Pokemon, and I also can't get them back. They're just sitting there being useless. I'm never going to get those gyms again. But now I know, I guess. I thought like after a few days they would come back to you automatically. Like it just defaults. But no, they literally just stay there until they're taken over.
Wow.
That's so stupid.
Wow.
So you can lose your best Pokemon if no one wants to fight the gym.
Yeah, and we also went downtown the next day, and I put a picture on Twitter. Like I had 6 gyms that were all taken. Apparently, like I said, there's a 50 coin limit per day. If you get more than 50 coins in a day, the rest are just gone. So I had like 4 of mine, 3 I think, that dropped off after the first day. The first one reached the 50 coin limit. The other 2 came off the same day. I got nothing for them. Because it just so happened that those gyms were taken over all in the same day. But if they had each dropped off once per day, I would have gotten 50 coins each day for doing nothing. Like, it makes no sense. You should get something for them staying there.
No.
Like, and it doesn't tell you that. It just comes back and, like, where it would say 50 coins, it just says, you've reached your daily limit. And then it goes away. So these things you have no control over. also like can screw you over based on how like random circumstances. So you don't really want to take more than one gem a day, just in case, or one gem at a time, I should say. But then it could be in there for 5 minutes, someone takes it over, and then it drops right back to you. So you want to have multiple to cover your bases.
Shut it down. Pokemon Go's over.
Right? It's stupid. We also had a long conversation about how Smash Bros. Is broken and needs to just be burned and started over, but I don't want to get into that right now. Unless you're a big Smash Bros. Fan, Daniel. I know Thomas doesn't care.
I'm a big fighting game fan, but Smash Bros. Isn't a fighting game. It's a party game.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Ugh.
I think
You're
literally...
both the worst.
Oh, you think it's a fighting game?
Sorry. The last time Smash Bros. Was actually a fighting game was when it was in Melee on the GameCube. After that, it just became nonsense.
No, Brawl was a party game. 4 was back to being a fighting game.
4? You sure? Because I haven't touched it since the last one I touched was I think it was the one that went on.
It's probably Brawl. Wii.
It probably was Brawl. It's the one that was on Wii, but
Yeah.
you could also connect it to your 3DS.
Yeah, that was Brawl.
Yeah, that one.
Wait, no. The Brawl didn't connect to 3DS. The Wii U one connected to
the Wii U
3DS.
one.
Yeah, the Wii U one.
Oh, that's 4. That's 4 then.
Yeah, no,
That's
I
my
didn't care for it.
Well, people that loved Melee just don't want anything but Melee. There's literally a Change.org campaign out there right now for those diehard fans that want Sakurai to cut content from the new like Smash Bros. Ultimate to make it more like Melee.
Just throw Smash
Well,
in the garbage.
to be honest with you, the Melee game competitively, I found it a lot of fun. But when you got it, well, after that, it was like the games were still enjoyable, but they didn't feel good in a competitive scene for me. Because like
I don't care about the competitive element, but I feel like they've done more with 4 and even more so it looks like with Ultimate to make them feel more competitive. But when you have that many characters, you can't balance everything.
Oh no, you can't. You get that in just about every fighter game you play. Like I'm a big player of like Guilty Gear and like Blaze Blue. Those were like my 2 main fighters. Those 2D anime style side scrolling fighter type games.
And my trash games, got it.
He's like Ben.
To be fair, Guilty Gear was like became like one of the biggest staples to fighting games alongside like Street Fighter, right? The difference being like Street Fighter was a very slow-based poke type game, and Guilty Gear being a very like fast, long combo strings and
Yeah, it's more
very
flashy.
aggressive fighter. Yeah, it was way more.
No, they're very serious fighters. That's just what I say when Ben's here, and I just get triggered. I forget that he's not here.
Yeah, they're like they're super serious fighting games. Where I think, like just Smash Bros. In general is like a good game. In general, it's great to have and play with friends for sure. But it's not like I don't see it as like a very competitive fighter. But it's not.
Yeah, anything that's not 1-on-1 is not. I don't think is a competitive fighter.
I don't even care. I don't like tag system games. I hate tag system games completely as well. Like you got like Marvel vs. Capcom, and a lot of people will like go up in arms about that because I hate it. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I don't like any of that tag system stuff. And lately they just put out what was it? Blaze Blue Cross whatever, and that game upset me so bad.
Cross tag battle or something.
I was so excited for Blaze Blue Cross, and then like it's tag battle, and I was like,
I hear Tag Battle is really good. Like a lot of people are really enjoying that one.
yeah, they like tag systems, but like if you enjoy half your roster being DLC and you have to pay for it.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like that the release system of that was pretty bad. I have Dragon Ball Fighters. I haven't cracked that. Like I've played a little bit of that. I haven't gotten to the tag part yet. But I feel like the tag stuff is getting a little bit more accepted in the FGC.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Well, if you're going to do a tag fighter, I think Dragon Ball Fighter Z is definitely the best one to go to, especially when you're new to fighting games. Its combos are not as complex as say you have in like pretty much every other fighting game. It is, and it's flashy too. It's flashy, which people love. It's kind of smaller combos. Or not even just smaller combos, but simplistic combos, I should say. Yeah. And you know, it's from a series that everyone loves, pretty much, from our childhood. Like Dragon Ball Z, where can you go wrong? It's enjoyable, but
They finally made a
fantasy.
good Dragon Ball game.
Well, Xenoverse wasn't bad. It just wasn't.
It's not great. It's
I
alright.
liked Budokai.
Yeah. It was fun.
I don't know Dragon Ball, but I thought Budokai was a fun fighting game.
Budokai series was a pretty good one too, actually.
Yeah, like I mean, like they're all right. I'm just not saying they're great. You know, like they're not
Yeah.
S tier.
Yeah.
They're A tier.
But I think wasn't it Dragon Ball Z, like the Fighter Z was also made by the same people who made. I'm pretty sure it was made by Arts of the Works, which is like Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear. So these guys are like they really know what they're doing.
Every fighting.
They're making all the anime fighters. Yeah.
Because it's Bandai Namco, like they own them.
Yeah.
They've also been working on Smash Bros. For 4 and now Ultimate.
Really?
They made, yeah. That's how they got like Pac-Man and some others in there.
Right.
Just the Namco connections. But yeah, they worked on, like you said, Blaze Blue, Dragon Ball Fighters, one of the other like girl fighter games. I can't think of what it's called right now.
The girl fighter games.
What do you mean by that?
Hang on.
Skullgirls, is that it?
Skullgirls?
Something like that.
All right.
I'm actually not sure. I don't think Skullgirls was made by
Also
Arts.
Guilty Gear. We did say that one, but
Yeah.
like recently there's been a lot.
Skullgirls was actually I think Skullgirls for like a tag system type fighter was probably my favorite one out there, simply because you had the option of either doing tag system or not. Like you could go in with a single character in Burst Zone who's using up to 3. So that was a very good system for a fighter. I like that. Giving your audience the option, because someone like me doesn't like fiddling with all the tag system stuff. It's not enjoyable to me.
I guess it was One Piece they've got the license for.
Yeah.
One Piece?
Wait, isn't that Namco?
And then they also did Persona 4 Arena.
Yeah, that's what it was. Persona 4 Arena.
Is that what you mean by the girl games?
I mean, I think Persona was what I was thinking of, yeah. But
But it's mostly women. There's a couple guys in there.
There's another team that makes pretty much all of the other fighting games, and I think I might have been getting them confused.
Who makes the King of Fighter games? I can't remember. You remember, Daniel?
Off the top of my head, no, I haven't played that series in so long.
SNK.
Yeah,
That's SNK is they're the ones I was thinking of.
All right, cool.
They make all the other fighting games.
They're making
King of
that girl.
And SNK Heroines was the other game I was thinking of that's coming out.
Oh,
that's what I thought you were thinking of, because you said the girl games, and I was like, yeah, that's coming. So.
Yeah, are they turning like one of the most popular male characters from like King of Fighters into a woman for that?
What was it?
I don't know.
They have. He has
like a red cap.
Yeah. Terry Bogard.
Yeah, he's turned.
one of the coolest fighting game characters ever. And now he has a hat called Fatal Cutie, and I really want that hat.
Yeah, King of Fighter was actually I haven't heard about that game in so long, and that was that was one of the first fighters I've ever played.
That last one that released, like, it was alright, but like it didn't really catch fire. Like,
no?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't hear anyone talk about that one.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Street Fighter is really like what everyone plays right now if they want to play like a more slow fighter game, right?
Yeah. Justin, where can the people find your stuff?
They can find me by looking up Zero Score
Were you gonna
on
say
YouTube.
Were you gonna say YouPorn?
No, by looking up YouTube on Zero Score is what I was going to say.
Okay.
Looking up Zero Score on YouTube or Twitter. Final Fantasy IX is still continuing. There will be a new episode up tomorrow as of this recording, so it'll already be up probably when most of you hear this. But it's great. I think Disc 3 of Final Fantasy IX is my favorite, like of the game. So I'm really enjoying this kind of section of story. It's a lot of fun to put together and see realized with voice acting and everything. And also the N64 list is still up. That hasn't gotten enough love, so please watch it.
Daniel, do you have anything to promote?
No, just I'm a fan of Friday Night Magic, and if anyone wants to join me at like 401 Games for some EDH, then yeah, over at Vaughn. But
All
that's
right.
about
It's a
it.
very specific audience you're shooting for with that plug.
Yeah, unfortunately, like that's pretty much all I do with my time, right? I don't really stream or anything like that, unfortunately.
All right. You can check me out on Twitter, CSG Thomas on Twitter. You can also email me, thomas@chargeshot.com. Also, we have a website. It's called chargeshot.com. That's where all of our audio, video, and written content lives.
And my Celeste review. Go watch it.
Yeah, go check out that Celeste review. And until then, guys, enjoy your games. Daniel, keep recording.
Keep recording.
Yes, keep recording.
Okay.
All right.
uh,
We're doing the news now.
all right.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Video Game News and News Show, hosted by your host Thomas and Justin. He's drinking a beer. Give him
Hi.
this- There we go.
I don't know why I wasn't ready. You always go to me first.
And today, a very special guest, friend of, I don't know, what, 20 years, 15 years, something like that.
I don't know, something like grade 9.
Yeah,
That was like 2000. What, 2005?
yeah, something like that.
That's 13 years.
It feels longer, man. I feel like I'm... It does.
With the amount of times I've crashed at your house back in the day.
Yeah.
I like how you said a friend of, I don't know. Like, I know where you were going with it, but it sounded pretty silly.
Yeah, Daniel's here to replace Ben. He's basically
good.
Ben. He likes the anime titty games.
And yet I play the big burly man that grab people and like give them hugs.
There we go.
I don't think Ben understands magic, though.
No.
I'm a sucker for card games, okay? And board games.
Yeah, board games.
Woo.
First news story of the night. Breaking news from... We have a lot of news tonight because of Gamescom over in... No, Europe. Yeah, Gamescom in Europe, right? Germany. I should know that. Yeah, bunch of news coming out. Ubisoft says there's no new Assassin's Creed game coming in 2019. Essentially what they said is that they had two teams working on Assassin's Creed games at the same time, and so they kind of just had two games come out back to back.
Oh man.
I don't see why this is news, because they already said, like, before Origins that they weren't going to go back to a yearly...
But then they did. Because they had back to back,
True.
so then people were worried about that, and now it's just like confirming that they're not doing that.
Yeah, that's right. I did think it was weird that they announced Odyssey so quickly after Origins when they said they weren't going to do yearly. But still, I wouldn't expect them to keep that up, because they would have had to have been working on multiple... I mean, the games take years to make. They would have had to have multiple teams working on all of these games at once.
It's
To put out 2 years in a row is a lot still.
Yeah. It's better that they just came out ahead of time and said, hey, guess, like, don't, like, if there's no news on a new game next year, don't worry about it. That's the plan.
Yeah, I get it.
Um,
I do think the next one that comes out is going to be that Japanese one that they've kind of teased.
yeah, Daniel was saying that.
Yeah,
It's
like
cool.
because what happened was they released a coded thing with like 3 pictures of the Eye of Ra, the Omega symbol, and those red the gateways at Temple Shrine in Japan. Those
Yeah.
red, they're like red. They're fancy looking. They're kind of nice. So
They're fine.
And if this is a new like trilogy, that would make sense. Although then
Yeah.
you'd think they would have done 3 in a row, still, like, you know, one after another, and then taken a few years off for the next trilogy. But
yeah.
oh well.
Well, it's like everyone's been like, oh, the next one's gonna be in Japan. Like Tom's was saying, the next one's gonna be in Japan, and finally they're actually gonna be going into Japan. So a lot of people wanted to go there, so they're probably gonna take their time with that.
Yeah. And I mean, that's been rumored since what, Assassin's Creed 3, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so far, it's all been true. Like everything from 3 that was kind of hinted at for the future of the series has come true. So I don't see why it wouldn't.
Next news story, Xbox All Access looks like a new subscription service with Xbox Live, Game Pass, and a console. So it looks like, yeah. customers will be able to pay around $22 a month and net themselves an Xbox One S, an Xbox Live, and Xbox Game Pass for 2 years. Around $35 will net them an Xbox One X. So they're basically doing like the phone subscription model for consoles, which is crazy.
But there's no interest or anything.
Yeah.
So you're literally just paying the price of the thing over 2 years. Like, that's impressive.
Yeah. This is the future of consoles.
Yeah. I don't like this model because with phones, it's like they're upwards of $1,000 or even more now with the Note 9.
Yeah.
And that makes sense to lease out because no one's going to drop $1,000 every year on a new phone. But when you can take that and like trade it in, for half off on your next phone than the following year, which is what I pretty much do every year. It's a lot more feasible because then you're basically paying like maybe $500 a year for a new phone every year. This, you're just leasing the console, and then after it's paid for 2 years later, it's yours. But if you have to lease a $300 purchase, you probably can't afford to own that thing. And it's going to like perpetuate that idea of poor people buying things outside of their means. And I don't really like that idea. It's cool to have more options, but do we want that option?
Well,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but it also just opens up another way for people to play. Like, it just opens up a way for people to... It's like, I get what you're saying completely, but say someone wants an Xbox One. Like, they're missing out on whatever games there is. Like, they want State of Decay and Halo or whatever. They can just pay this subscription
That's
fee.
true.
Like, not everyone has the upfront cost, but they do have the cost. Like, they can budget it within their monthly expenses instead of, like, saving to the next month to the next month. I do get what you're saying, though.
No, that's totally true. And I see it more for, like, children. Because they might get, a $20 a month allowance.
Yeah.
So they can say, hey, instead of giving me an allowance every month, like buy me this, this $22 per month Xbox One S deal. And then in 2 years, it'll be my console.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying there's already a lot of issues of like rent-a-centers and things like that preying on the lower class.
Mm-hmm.
And in those cases, they end up paying like 10 or 20% more than the thing actually costs over time. Mm-hmm. This is literally like just the cost of the bundle, which is great. Like, exactly. I respect them for doing that.
Yeah.
But how many people are going to see like, oh, I can get that, and then like, not pay for things they should pay for because they see that an Xbox is suddenly within their budget.
It's going to happen. Like, it's legit going to happen where someone won't have that $20 for that month. And they'll just default it to the next month, and then default that to the next month.
Yeah, that's just... I know too many people that do that with their phones already, never mind consoles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to work in collections, and I'd see that with cars all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I've pushed off my cell phone a fair amount of times. Like, I'll pay 2 months at a time instead of one at a time. But now I've got a good job, so I can manage it. Yeah. But I also wouldn't go for something like this if I knew that my funds were tight. Not everyone has that sense of responsibility.
Yeah.
A lot of people just tend to like throw money every chance they can just to make themselves feel better.
Yeah.
Right. Retail therapy. The life of excess. All that stuff.
Yeah.
They say they can't afford rent, but then can get alcohol every weekend. Like, those things add up.
Yeah.
But I like this as an idea. Like, it's a great way to have another option for funding these things.
Yep.
I'm tempted a little bit, but I also don't really care about Xbox One because there was another announcement.
Yeah.
That the few games that I do care about, like Sunset Overdrive, are coming to Steam soon.
Yeah.
So why would I care?
Exactly.
Every game that matters is coming to Steam.
Yeah, well, Steam is the master race of gaming right now for PCs.
Yeah.
It's true.
I was gonna talk about Windjammers. Let me just talk about Windjammers real quick. Instead of the Steam story that we have. Windjammers 2 was announced by .emu. They're the guys that have been doing bringing back some of the retro games. They actually just brought back Windjammers for PlayStation 4 recently, the first one, and now they're doing Windjammers 2. There's not a whole lot of information on it. There was just like a CGI or like a cartoon cutscene.
It's a cool cutscene.
It's a really cool game. Like I haven't had a lot of people to play with. I've only played Windjammers itself a little bit. I used to play a little bit more of Disco Jam that came out. It was free for PlayStation Plus subscribers at the time. But essentially, it's kind of like a fighting game, but it's like a sports fighting game where you have two people, one on each side, and you're just throwing a disc back and forth to each other. But you can do super moves and like do combos and stuff, and like try to build up the speed faster and faster. It's kind of like a Nidhogg almost.
I'd think of it more like a dive kick.
Yeah.
It's like the
like
controls
that
are
too.
very simple, but you have a lot of variety in what you can do with those simple controls.
Yeah. Also, like
Yeah,
Ninja
I love that
League.
this was just like suddenly announced during a randomly dropped European Indies showcase for Switch.
It's
Like,
so cool.
first time anyone's ever heard about Windjammers 2, and there wasn't even any announcement this thing was coming. It was just, hey, here's an Indies showcase. Good morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even think I've played the first game, so
It's pretty cool. There was actually a Windjammers scene at Evo this year. There was like a side stream where they had like Austin Creed from WWE or Xavier Woods. Like, I think he refed it or like hosted it or something. It was pretty awesome.
yeah. Now I kind of feel sad that I missed out.
Yeah. All right. Where is it?
You want to talk about this indie showcase then?
Sure. Let's just keep putting off the Valve news and talk about the indie highlight.
Yeah, no one cares about the Valve news.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna delete it then.
Yeah, so like I said, they just dropped a random like 20-minute indie showcase for Switch games. This was on the Nintendo UK channel, but I mean, these games are coming everywhere. It's just like maybe they're going to Europe first, or this was just like their showcase. I don't know. There's another Nintendo Direct coming next week, I think, for American games. So I'm sure a lot of these will pop back up.
They probably
But
just
for the
had
most
like
part,
the distribution rights or something.
right. For the most part, it was ports. Like nothing terribly surprising. Things we've seen elsewhere, and some pretty old games. But there was like a few new announcements. One of which was a sequel to Monster Boy. That one that was a port from like the Sega Master System or something like that.
Yeah.
With like new graphics and everything. This is an actual sequel to that game.
Oh wow. Is this is a new game or a remake of the?
I think so.
Okay. All right.
It seems like a new game.
Okay.
And like I didn't play the last one, but like this actually looks really cool. I mean, graphically it's beautiful, and also there's some really neat abilities that he has, and it kind of feels like Zelda 2 if it was good. Because Zelda 2 is a bad game. Prove me wrong. And yeah, there's a few other things they've shown before, like what's this one called? The Gardens Between, which is kind of a neat like co-op puzzle game type thing that kind of looks like A Tale of Two Brothers or whatever that one's called.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think it's Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, but whatever.
Yeah.
It looks like that, but with like a kind of a cool time manipulation mechanic in it.
Close enough.
They showed off more of that. There was Streaks of Rogue, which is a roguelike game that kind of feels like Streets of Rage, obviously. Bad North, which I think was another new announcement. That's kind of a strategy, like troop controlling game. That's also procedurally generated. Like a lot of things that weren't really my type of thing, but were cool to see get announced at least.
That Night Call looked like it had a really cool aesthetic to it, like that.
Yeah, that was
noir,
another one.
Like Black.
Moonlighter is getting ported, which is kind of a partial roguelite. Like the dungeons you go into are procedurally generated, but then the rest of the game is pre-built. But it kind of plays and feels like Zelda Minish Cap, which is neat. Oh yeah, there's one really cool one that like just had a beautiful aesthetic to it. Where is it? This War of Mine, which I think is a port also, but it looks
Yeah.
great.
I got that on PC. I played a bit of it. It's neat.
It kind of reminds me of Deadlight.
Yeah, it's I think you kind of just have like a base that you have, and you send people out to do stuff, and you slowly expand. While I think it takes place actually in a war-torn country, and you're like you're like kind of like refugees almost, like just trying to survive. You're
Okay.
refugees within your own country, pretty much.
That's cool. There's also Children of Morta, which seemed pretty cool. It kind of has that not Towerfall. It's one I always get confused. I've played it. I think it's on the it was on the Twitch. I can't think of what it's called.
I can't help you, man. I'm sorry.
Okay. Pause for edit. I was trying to log into Twitch, but it's updating. Grr. We'll move on for a second.
It's adding in the ads.
Probably. Yeah. So there's also Everspace, which is kind of cool. It's like a space roguelite, I think, which this is an annoying amount of roguelites. But anyway, it looks beautiful, actually. Like, it kind of has that No Man's Sky, like, or
Yeah,
good grief, I can't think of names.
like a Descent thing going on. First person Descent.
Yeah,
You're thinking of that other one that Mark really liked.
I am.
I know,
And I can't remember what it was called
I can't remember
because I didn't really care. Elite Dangerous.
Elite Dangerous.
It has that look,
Yeah.
but it's all like procedurally generated stuff. But it looks neat, at least. I wouldn't play it, but it's neat. I think that's another port. There's I'm just kind of scrolling through here
Baba is you.
for things that matter. I don't know what Baba Is You is. That's weird. Oh yeah, Windjammers, like the first Windjammers is getting ported also. That kind of ended with the trailer for Windjammers 2. But that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. It's got multiplayer.
Terraria is still coming to Switch. Like,
Really? Wait, I thought that was already on Switch.
no, it was announced a long time ago, and now
Okay.
finally has a release date of 2019.
Uh,
I think that was in like the launch reel of games, which is absurd.
okay. Some
Okay,
card
the game I
game.
was thinking of was Titan Souls. I knew it started with a T.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Children of Morta has kind of that graphic style and play style, honestly. Then there's Prison Architect, which I've never heard of, but kind of looks like
Yeah,
SimCity meets The Escapists. So that's
it's
cool,
pretty
I
much
guess.
like it's a prison building simulator. Like you build the prison and make sure it's running. People don't escape.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's pretty
but
neat.
it kind of looks like The Escapists.
Yeah.
Graphically.
Well,
And they also announced that, at least in Europe, Morphe's Law was out like the day of this video. So Morphe's Law is out now. This is one of those kind of unique, I think, Switch exclusive, like shooter, online multiplayer games, where it's like you shoot at different body parts and it makes them grow or shrink.
yeah, we talked about this one before.
Yeah, and you like suck away their. It looks really cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I was kind of surprised they just like dropped it suddenly.
Yeah.
So I'll have to check that out sometime. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
Wargroove they finally showed off more of.
Yeah.
Unruly Heroes, which I think is a card battle game.
Yeah.
Daniel might be interested in that one.
No, I already spent way too much money on Magic.
It's the digital cards though.
You can't
Yeah,
get enough of the
cheaper.
cards.
Okay, let's go this way. You want to know what I'm playing for card games? I'm playing like Shadowverse. I'm playing, which I put a lot of time into. I play the Blizzard one, which is
Hearthstone.
Hearthstone. I'm playing Eternal, which is on Steam. I'm playing Magic: The Gathering Arena on my computer as well as one of the beta testers, as well as playing actually Magic in real life. So,
Oh,
and
dang.
just to
real
give a
life
rough
Magic.
idea, yeah, just to give you an idea of what I'm spending, like real life Magic, I'm dropping like at least $100, $200 on Magic every month. So,
It's
Dang.
absurd.
like, normally 100, but
No
Alright.
problem.
yeah, exactly.
Also, before we move on, I just want to give a quick shout out to the announcer of this indie highlights video because she was charming. Like, there was little like interstitials between each game, and it was like just cute little puns and like just kind of like anecdotes leading into whatever game was next. And it's just like, we don't get that with the American ones. We get a guy that like kind of is pretty awkward and just like weirdly transitions. This is actually like really charming. I don't know. I want her to do the American ones.
Well, speaking of Switch news, Hat in Time is coming to Switch.
Yes. They said it wouldn't happen. They were dicks to everyone about it, but it's happening.
It's happening. What else is happening is Grandia and Grandia 2 coming to the Switch. And
No, we weren't done yet. There's also new DLC and stuff coming.
I don't care.
That's bigger news. I mean, the Switch part's cool, but I'm not going to get it again, probably.
Alright.
But the DLC and split-screen co-op was announced when the game was in beta. Well, not the DLC. That was just supposed to be part of the game when it was launched, and it became DLC later. But the split-screen co-op was literally announced in the beta. Like, that's why me and Hedgie got it originally.
Mm-hmm.
So we could play together like while it was in beta still. And that feature wasn't available. It said it would be available at launch. It wasn't available at launch. Now the game's been out for, I want to say, over a year.
No.
And we're finally getting co-op.
No, it came out this year.
Did it, though?
Hat in Time? I came out this
I mean,
year.
I've had it forever. So I don't...
Well, yeah. Well, you're a Kickstarter backer, right?
No.
Or
Hedgie bought it for us.
okay. Well, I don't know if
Because it's like he bought the beta and then it came with a free code for someone else, which we thought was for co-op. It came out.
this year.
Well, now it's all the news for stuff.
Oh, it was last year, October 5th. You're right.
Yeah.
God, I feel like it was this year.
See?
It's because of Ukulele. It's throwing me off.
Ukulele also came out last year.
No.
Ukulele was last April.
Oh man.
Talk about a
I remember that one.
It was last year. What? I'm.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up at 2 a.m. this morning. That's my excuse.
I think you're just stuck in the past. It's just, you know what? It's because I'm here. You're now stuck in the past.
Yeah. That's right.
Reminiscing about all the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was sending out a lot of like retweets and stuff leading up to the release date because I was super excited when they finally announced it. So I remembered that it came out last year. I just don't remember the exact date.
All right.
But yeah, Ukulele I remember because I got a physical copy of it from being a Kickstarter backer.
Okay.
Anyway,
alright.
now we can move on.
For some reason.
I'm okay with it. It was still fun, but it nods to pop culture.
It felt like too much.
Yeah, the superpowers were just not necessary. That's my thing.
But it was so much fun.
3 had that perfect blend of like just good, like solid gameplay that felt like a GTA type game, while also being really silly and fun.
3 had that.
But it didn't go over the top with it. It just like felt realistic with its silliness.
3 had that
What
one.
do you mean? Jumping out of a plane and like diving through another one while throwing your friend. Like,
yeah.
Oh god.
That's cool.
Yeah, it felt just like a heightened action movie, whereas the 4th one felt like it was just throwing things at the wall to see what would stick.
The 4th one is the Fast and Furious 5 of this.
Don't let us forget. Get Out of Hell.
I never played it.
It was free on PlayStation Plus, so I played it, and it's not good.
No.
It had one good scene.
Okay.
And that's like when Gat starts singing. It's funny as hell.
That sounds like
terribly. But
I didn't even get that far. It's just like it's driving around. It's the same gameplay, but it's just driving around hell. Like that's it.
That's actually in the shape of one of the cities for one of the other games that I can't remember which one.
Yeah.
And then you have all that superpower stuff.
I like.
But 3 is great, and I think it'll do well on Switch.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Like alongside like Doom and Wolfenstein and stuff like that, like the Switch is getting a viable, like mature market, which I appreciate. And then Beta 3 is going to come out, and like
is Saints Row M-rated? It's M-rated, right?
Yeah,
it is.
It's crazy. M-rated games on a Nintendo console.
Like there's a red light district in the game, so.
I mean, M-rated games used to go to Switch, or used to go to Nintendo. I mean,
yeah.
Like even up to GameCube, it got stuff like Resident Evil and things like that.
Yeah.
It's just it still blows my mind because Nintendo's all about the family. It's like Disney version of
Yeah, but it has its occasional mature games, but it's not as prevalent as say like, PS4 and Xbox or PC.
Yeah.
So
Right. But those systems struggle to get the family-friendly games off the ground.
that's true. Like
So
all
it's one or the
their-
other usually. Like you can't excel at both.
Yeah,
You can dabble in both, but you can't excel at both.
yeah, I agree. But at least there now, Switch is getting like some really fan favorite series that are coming
Yeah.
out on it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Diablo 3, I think, is going to be a big one too. Like, there's all kinds of stuff.
I'm not too excited about that one though.
I don't need it, but I'm glad it's coming.
Yeah, yeah. Something.
I just won't talk about Diablo 3.
Another game to be excited about is Shenmue 3.
Should we?
Which one?
Shenmue 3.
Shenmue 3.
It's got a release date for August 27, 2019, so next year, almost to the date. A few more days.
Have they added facial expressions yet?
No, because it's not faithful to the series.
I just feel like that first trailer, they tried to like blow it off, like, oh no, it's still in very early development. That'll
Yeah.
come along with time.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure it's not though.
No. I feel like
Shenmue's
people-
so janky.
It's too bad Ben's not here to defend this series because I feel like
You
people are
wouldn't. You would agree that it's janky.
yeah, #jank. Yeah. I'm surprised people are actually buying Shenmue. Well, I'm seeing a lot of people excited about buying Shenmue 1 and 2 and saying that they're great still. And I'm like, what are you even playing?
Clearly great games on this.
Yeah, I know.
And I've seen how
10, you don't know.
remastered they are, which is to say barely.
Yeah. I like 2 at the time, but yeah, like going, like, I can't do it anymore. Like, it's just out, it's so outdated. And games have
Yeah.
fucking gone so superior and beyond that scope.
You mean like Mass Effect Andromeda?
Oh, no, don't talk about it.
I mean,
It has-
considering Shenmue 3 still looks like a last-gen game, I guess we shouldn't expect too much out of Shenmue 1 and 2 remastered.
It has
but, you
more
know.
animation than Shenmue, at least. I don't know if it's any good.
Sorry,
Speaking
we
of
were talking about face animations. I had to bring it up.
yeah. Speaking of old games coming back, Time Splitters and Second Sight have been acquired by Deep Silver.
Okay, I am so incredibly excited. I am so ready for Time Splitters.
Right? Time Splitters is great.
I was so like I remember playing that all summer with my cousins, just like on the GameCube. So good.
Like, it's not actually good, but it's great.
Yeah,
You know
it
what
was
I mean? But they were
a
just
lot of fun.
super fun for what they were at the time.
Oh yeah.
Alright,
Agreed.
moving on. You've got Soul Calibur 6 story mode and DLC characters are announced. I didn't read this story. Justin,
Oh, what? Oh, so sorry.
Soul Calibur 6.
There was a screenshot that was released of a comparison between the Grandia remaster and the original, and like it looks like surprisingly better. Like they're actually putting work into this remaster, and it makes me really happy.
I was just gonna skip right over that.
No, it's totally fine. Ben's not here, so it's whatever. But
Yeah.
I just like this literally just came out, and so I had to look at it real quick. And like
Okay.
at first, I didn't realize that it was a comparison shot because like it looks like a totally different game. It's nice. I get so used to like I said with Shenmue 1 and 2, I get so used to just phoned in remasters. They just put like a a higher resolution filter on there and call it a day. But sometimes they actually do a good job. Anyway, Soul Calibur 6 has shown off its story mode, which sounds pretty cool. The create a character is back, and so in the story mode, you actually build your own custom fighter, which has a lot of features to it, such as 16 different races, a bunch of different like facial features and whatnot, and then a different fighting styles that you can choose to create your character. And then you take that character on a quest to basically beat all of the other characters in the game from gathering the Soul Edge shards. I I don't know if this is just like a tournament type mode where you go fight to fight to fight, or if it's actually like a Mortal Kombat, Armageddon style like adventure game, which I would not be opposed to because I'm one of the people that likes that mode. It's not good.
That was actually really fun.
But it's like it's fun because it's not just fighting. Like they
And it
actually
helps
added something
fun.
unique into that game.
Yeah, it gives room for story, which is nice.
Yeah, and I think more games should do stuff like that. But I think this is probably just like narration bits and then into the next fight.
Well, from what it looked like, it reminds me of the way they were showing the map portion of it. Looked very similar to like Soul Calibur 2, where it was like you're going from you clear that part, and then you have choices where you have to go like up, down, left, or right, or something like that. That's kind of what it looked like.
I actually do like that a lot too. Soul Edge, like the original Soul Calibur game, did that on PS1, and that worked really well on a PS1 game. I think they could do better now.
I think it was a great system for that game, and it was really upsetting for me when they took that out. For me personally, so.
Well, Soul Calibur 2 was the last good one, so there's that.
Yeah, well, you had like Link in the GameCube version, Spawn in with the Xbox, and I can't remember the forgettable person from like Tekken.
Heihachi, I think.
Heihachi?
Yeah, yeah,
Sure.
the old man with the white hair
Yeah.
that everyone's like forgotten about.
Yeah, Heihachi was in the PlayStation version. He was the weakest Link of the three, though.
Well, of
Yeah.
course, yeah. I'm just saying, Heihachi's like a notable character. He's the face of Tekken.
I think King is the face of Tekken.
King is my favorite character of Tekken.
Yeah.
Really, I thought it was like the guy who turned into a demon became like the most popular character.
Maybe,
recently.
but King has wrestling moves, and it's pretty awesome. And he also...
And he's like just a normal guy with a tiger face.
Yeah, didn't like King also have like a mimic character, whatever his name was?
Armored King.
Yeah, King and Armored King.
Yeah.
So original.
They also have announced the first DLC character, which always annoys me when they announce DLC before the game's even out. And it is Tira, who is, I guess, back from Soul Calibur 3. I didn't play after 2. But yeah, she has like a big wheel, like a wheel blade.
Oh, yeah.
That's like bigger than she is. She looks
like,
very much like an Overwatch character.
But she's been in like every single game after, like, since her release, and now they're putting her in the DLC for this one. That's weird.
Yeah, we talked about DLC characters in the other show, and bad move.
Yeah, that's why they shouldn't release DLC before the game's out, because clearly she's developed. They showed her off.
Exactly.
Yeah. And she's already like a persistent character in the series to begin with.
Right.
So that's awkward.
If anything, they should save guest characters like Gestalt for DLC.
Yeah. Like if they brought back Link, that'd be pretty cool too as a DLC character, but they can't do that because of
That would be
Nintendo.
Just
I
give
mean,
it
if
only
they
be
put the game on Switch.
yeah.
Yeah, they'd only be able to release it for the Switch one, which would have been nice. And, same with like the pack and whatever that was DLC. That would have been a real nice throwback.
Yeah,
That
that'd
I'd
be
like to see.
Use your amiibo.
I don't know. It pisses me off, like how, for one, how guest characters have taken over fighting games, but also how games in general put out the DLC announcements before the game is out, and then pretend like, oh, well, that's not content in the game. Like, we're still working on it. But then how are you showing it
I don't
off?
like that. I don't mind them telling like, oh, we're working on it, but when they like showcase the character,
Right.
Yeah.
that's what it's like. Ugh.
Last news story of the night, unless I'm missing anything. Life is Strange 2 details revealed. First 5 episodes will release September 27, 2018 on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PC.
Chloe and Max are dead. Get over it.
Are they?
Are they?
I don't know. They're not in the game.
Well, I haven't played the first one yet. Like I own it, but it's been sitting there. I've been playing because I have all the Telltale series games I have to play through still.
Yeah.
I've watched through the series, but I haven't played it myself. Even though, again, I do own it.
Yeah.
What's
It was when I was gonna sit with my wife sometime and like have her play through it because she likes the story-driven kind of narrative games.
Yeah.
But we just haven't done it yet.
Like, was that one any good? Because like I haven't really
I've
talked
heard-
to anyone about it.
I've heard a lot of good things about it. There's a few good like gut wrenching moments in Life is Strange.
Yeah, there's some solid decisions to make, like ones that are hard. And because of the time travel mechanic, it's like you can actually see the outcomes and still not know which one you want to do.
Mhm.
Oh, jeez. Okay, well that should be fun for me then, because right now I'm trying to go replay through the Batman one so I can do the second one. So
Mhm.
I might do that after.
Yeah, I need to get Batman Season 2. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I like.
Season 1 was free on PlayStation Plus, and I got hooked.
Oh, you're talking about for the first part of it, the first one
Yeah,
or
the
the
first
second
season.
one?
This first
No,
season.
like there's the
There's two
first Batman
seasons.
Telltale game.
Yeah,
Like there's just
that's season 1.
that's season 1, right? Okay.
Yeah, and they named it a different thing, but yeah, it's still seasons.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
like I thought only the first chapter was on for free.
No, the whole season was.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh,
I think it was to
Damn.
promote Season 2, probably. But yeah, this one has 2 totally new characters. This is Life is Strange 2. Now that we're back on that, it has 2
Yeah,
totally
sorry.
new characters that are brothers, and they're on the run from the Fuzz. And supposedly, I think the younger brother has telekinesis powers, so they're kind of playing with some new stuff this time.
all right.
But
That's strange.
like the first one, they don't want the powers to be like the focal point. They just want it to be something you can use to make decisions. So
Okay.
like they made it sound like you won't necessarily even know about the powers. Like they're not a major point. It's just if you have to use them, they're there. That's kind of interesting.
Y'all ever play Beyond Two Souls?
Nope.
Nope.
There's a
Don't even know
section. There's a section in that game. It's a David Cage adventure style game, kind of like this. But there's a section in the game where you're on the run, in I believe it is Mexico, so it's kind of giving me that kind of vibe, and also there's telekinetic powers in it, so it feels very very much like Beyond Two Souls with the conceit of it, anyways.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I think a lot of people are going to fall off of this because they didn't necessarily like Life is Strange. They liked Chloe and Max.
Yeah,
Like the LG, you know what I'm talking about. That group had a major following for this game, or for the first game, and I'm not sure it was because of anything mechanically in the game. Like, I don't think it was the choices made or anything. It was the characters, and they mentioned that in this announcement. Like, we were hesitant to move away from the characters that everyone loved, but we don't have any more stories to tell with them. Like, you can take them and do your fan fiction and all that stuff. Like, you
Yeah.
can let those characters exist in your own head, but we have no more stories to tell, so we'd be forcing it. So we're going to move on to something new.
yeah. With
Well,
the
I
And I
ending,
respect that from a developer
Yeah.
standpoint, but I just don't know if it's going to find an audience the same way.
yeah, with the
Yeah.
ending of Life is Strange 1, it's like it's a pretty definitive ending. So
Well, it depends which ending you get.
yeah, but I just mean like both ways. It's like it feels like it's all wrapped up into one cohesive story.
Yeah, I think it's a respectable thing to do. Like you do not want to drag someone's favorite character through the mud if you don't have to.
Right. I felt like Before the Storm did that enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't a bad game, but it felt unnecessary.
Did you play that free episode of Captain Spirit?
No, I forgot.
I have it. I didn't play it, but then I started looking at our like SEO stuff and things that we were ranking for, and we were ranking for that game for some reason, and it was Captain Spirit porn, and I was like, why is this a thing that's happening to my website?
What?
That's a
Yes,
child.
I know.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't know why that was happening. Listen, I'm scrubbing this website clean. Like it's good now. It's good now.
Run into the ground.
Yes.
I got some lighter fluid over here if you need to burn it. Like
Burn the internet.
some lighter fluid and a lighter.
We are now powerblast.com. Nope, that sounds more like porn.
God damn it.
I was trying to think of synonyms.
Yeah, so look forward to more Life is Strange if that's your bag.
Porn.
Justin, did I miss any news stories?
There's the Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, but I don't care about that. So if you want to talk
Oh,
about it,
yeah.
go ahead.
Fucking Christ, I can't
Japanese
find...
Dark Souls.
Yeah, that game looks super cool. I don't know what the news story was. I can't find it in my tabs here, so...
All I know is that it
think it
literally
was
looks like
just-
Dark Souls in like the feudal era.
It was a release date, I think.
Was it release date? I remember there was pre-order stuff. Like there's like a wall scroll or some bullshit like that.
Oh yeah, there was like an obnoxious, like $200 or $300 special edition.
Yeah, it's stupid. But that game looks
There
cool
it
with
is.
the robot arm, Dark Souls.
Also
like
a
you
release
said.
date.
Yeah. What's the release date?
It's
next year.
March 22nd
Yeah, I
is
was
the
gonna
release
say it
date.
was March next year. But yeah, cool. I'm looking forward to that.
So that's it.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
not.
definitely be checking it out because Dark Souls.
Yeah. You were my Sherpa through Dark Souls, and then I just stopped. I was like, I'm good.
I know. I was like, so sad.
All right. Justin.
One more quick thing. It's not really news, but it was the Nintendo YouTube channel put up a new mode for Super Mario Party. That was like all the characters sharing a raft, which feels just like that car mode from 9 that everyone hated. But they even fixed everyone in the same vehicle. Like they made that fun in this game. Like it looks incredible. I can't wait for this game. I thought of this because I was like, I'll probably still be playing Spider-Man in March. But no, there's like Super Mario Party and Smash Bros. And a few other things that come out before then. But yeah, basically they have all 4 characters in a raft together, and they're going down a river. And like all 4 of them can use the Joy-Con to like kind of, you know, paddle in whatever direction they're wanting to go. And you're trying to steer in the, you know, whichever tunnel you want to go down. And like it veers off at multiple times. And you get you have a time limit to get down to the base, so you want to go fast. But every time you get hit by something, you lose time, and every time you do a mini game, like succeed at a mini game, you get time back. So it's basically a mini game roulette mode, but you're all in the same vehicle, and they actually made it fun.
So you took that mini
I
game
just
from
wanted
the
to point
first game with the raft and made it into a board.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
But there's like branching paths and like a bunch of mini games and some cool like dodge the enemies and dodge the like grab the coins and things like that as you go.
Does this game
So it's
come with
very
a
active.
glove that you need to put on your hand?
Why?
Because of the whole spinning the stick.
No, you're not spinning. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing right now.
I'm trying to make a reference.
But it's just the motion, rowing motion. That's it.
I'm just trying to make a
You just-
reference. Okay. That's all,
I get it.
that's the
I'm
only
just- it
reason I'm
wasn't
here
good,
is I make
so.
references to things. Alright,
It's okay, Thomas. I found it funny.
fine. Justin, where can the people find your stuff?
They can find me on YouTube and Twitter if they look up Zero Score. Specifically, they can find my Final Fantasy IX story play and various lists and things like the N64 list I just did with VG Dad.
Cool. Daddy-o, where can the people play against you in Magic?
It'd be like 401 Games Vault on Saturday nights.
There you go. And you can find me, your host, Thomas, on Twitter, CSG Thomas on Twitter. You can also email me, thomas@chargeshot.com. And you can also check out our website, chargeshot.com. It's where all of our audio, video, and written content lives. And until then, guys, enjoy your games. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
All right, cool. You can stop it now, Daniel.
Yeah, I already stopped it.
Okay. Export that file and upload it to me.
Alright.